The World Cup is the biggest sporting event on Earth. Bigger than the Olympics, bigger than anything else in football. In 2026, it gets even bigger. 48 teams, 3 host countries, 1 trophy. If you do not understand how any of this works, you are about to. Here is everything you need to know. Start with the basics. The 2026 World Cup is hosted by the United States, Mexico, and Canada. 3 countries, 1 tournament. This is the first time the World Cup has ever been shared between 3 nations. 16 host cities spread across an entire continent from coast to coast. Some teams will fly more during this single tournament than entire seasons of club football combined. Some fans will too.
48 teams qualify. That is 16 more than every World Cup before it. More teams means more matches, more upsets, more countries getting their first ever taste of the World Cup stage. For some nations, just qualifying is the achievement of a generation. For the favourites, qualifying is just the start. The gap between those 2 realities is part of what makes the tournament work. Here is how the format works. 48 teams are split into 12 groups of 4. Every team plays 3 group matches. Win, you get 3 points. Draw, 1 point each. Lose, 0. The top 2 teams from every group advance automatically. That is 24 teams through immediately. But there is more. The 8 best third-place teams also advance. 32 teams total move on to the knockout stage. A team can lose a match and still survive. That uncertainty is the entire point.
If teams are level on points, goal difference decides it first, then goals scored, then head-to-head result. The rules exist for nearly every scenario, even the ones that almost never happen. Before any of that, teams are seeded into pots based on ranking, keeping the strongest teams apart in the early rounds. In theory. In practice, the group of death still finds a way to happen almost every tournament. Once the group stage ends, everything changes. The knockout stage is single elimination. Win or go home. No more points, no more safety net. One bad night and your World Cup is over, no matter how good your team was for the last 3 matches.
90 minutes if a match is level. 30 minutes of extra time if it is still level after that. Still level after extra time? Penalty shootout. 5 kicks each. If that is level, sudden death. 1 miss can end a country's entire tournament. It is the most pressure any athlete will ever face, and it happens in front of more people watching at once than almost anything else in human life. 32 teams enter the knockout stage. Round of 32, round of 16, quarterfinals, semi-finals, the final. 4 rounds stand between any team and the trophy. Win your side of the bracket, you play for everything. Lose once, you go home and wait 4 more years for another chance.
Now, the rules. FIFA changed several things for 2026, all designed to stop time wasting. Throw-ins and goal kicks now have a 5-second countdown. Take too long, you lose possession. Substitutions now have a 10-second limit to leave the pitch, or your team plays a man short for a full minute. Fake injuries now cost a full minute off the pitch too, unless you are a goalkeeper. VAR can now check second yellow cards, not just straight reds, and can correct cases of mistaken identity. And if a foul happens but the team still scores anyway, the red card is gone completely, because the goal was never actually denied.
6 new rules. 1 goal. More football, less stalling. Whether it actually works will only be clear once the tournament starts. Then there is the scale of it all. Over 5 billion people watched the last World Cup across the full tournament. Billions, not millions. This is the only event on the planet that nearly every country on Earth stops to watch at the same time. Local rivalries pause. Office arguments start. Strangers become temporary best friends over one shared result. For 1 month, almost the entire world is watching the same thing, even if they are watching for completely different reasons.
And every World Cup produces a story nobody saw coming. A team given no chance reaches the semi-finals. A player in his 30s has the tournament of his career. A penalty shootout ends a nation's dream in the cruelest way possible. This happens every single time. Nobody can predict it. Everybody remembers it for years afterward.
That is the World Cup. 48 teams, 3 host nations, 16 cities. One format built on pressure, math, and chaos in equal measure. Group stage to sort the field, knockout stage to find a champion. New rules to keep it moving, billions of people watching the same ball at the same time. You do not need to be an expert to enjoy it. You just needed to understand it. Now you do. The game has not changed. You have. You're welcome.